Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, y'all. And I'm gonna throw it back to Director Keita Mason, y'all. I've always been in awe of her. I met her when I joined this business in Atlanta. She is a beast in just coaching and teaching and keeping a team moving. So I model everything after her because I like the way that she keeps her team moving. I like her hunger, and I always like to attach myself to people that are smarter than me. Now, yeah, I do know the numbers, but my dad always told me if you're the smartest person in the circle, change your circle. So I always look for sharp people that are smarter than me. Keita is one of those people. I look up to her. I had never done network marketing before, but I like her style. So, y'all, I'm here to talk to you about the work, income producing activity. And see, y'all, like she said, I've been teaching college for the last 35 years. That's the only job I've ever had outside of college. And y'all, I've never done network marketing before. Came into this business as new in network marketing. I was a cold market person to the person that sponsored me. I met her on Facebook. Her post came down my feed. I reached out to her. I said, "Hey, tell me about this business." Y'all know the story. She sent me the video. I signed up, and here we are today, 6 years later. And so when I started building, y'all, I had to figure it out. There's not a blueprint. There's books you can read, but you got to find your way. So I'm here to talk to you what works for me. So I'm going to start with a little bit of background. So follow-up stats. This is good to look at, and I'll tie it in as we go on in this presentation. 48% of people never follow up. And this is mostly in sales, and we're in sales. 48% never follow up with people. 28% make a second contact and stop. 12% make 3 contacts and stop. 10% make more than 3 contacts and stop. And I'm curious, if you're a person that makes a 1 or 2 contact with someone and then stop, go ahead and put a 2 in the comments. And be honest, y'all. We're just learning from each other, and it's okay. But after today, we're going to do better. That's the goal. Okay, so let's take a look at this. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Y'all, that's very rare. I was a cold market person. When she showed it to me, I said, yeah, I'm going to do this. I just had to get my money together. But look, if we could find 500 of these people and their friends, look, we all would be 5- and 6-star directors. But it doesn't always work that way. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. Sometimes people need to see it again and hear it again and think about it. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. If you notice, the more times you contact people, the higher possibility of them saying yes. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, but y'all take a look at this. 80% of sales are made between the 5th and 12th contact. And I'm curious, everybody that's on here today, how many times did it take for someone following up with you, talking to you about this business for you to say yes? Y'all put that number in the chat. I'm curious. I'm curious to see. And be honest. Be honest. If it took 5, 6, 10, 12, 25, 30, go ahead and tell people. I'm just curious. Some people 1, some people 4, 5, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So y'all get it. You understand that you have to follow up and talk to people. And I think what happens is we get into this business and we forget our background. We forget, hey, it took a few times for us. We forget, I didn't get it on the first time. We forget, hey, I had to give her a couple of dates before I could get my money together. I'm telling you that so you can step back when you're talking to people and be a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Be a little bit more patient with people and don't be so quick to write them off. Okay, so here we go. This is what we're talking about. Do you want residual income? Y'all let me know in the comments. I'm assuming everybody here wants it, but I don't want to assume anything. Mr. Bradley said, ask people, don't assume. People want what you want. So if you want residual income, type yes in the comments. So if you want residual income, y'all, this is it right here. This right here. You must be willing to talk to people with urgency and consistent, or just leave them alone. And I say that with love. If you're not willing to follow up and talk to people quick and consistently, leave them alone. So that's what's required. You have to talk to people. He or she will say, yes, I want this business, or no, I do not want this business. Don't call me again. Y'all, I've been building for 4 of my 6 years. I think I can count on 2 fingers if I can remember correctly, 2 people that have actually said, you know what, I'm really not interested. No, don't call me again. And guess what? I honor their request and I've never called them again. Respect people's space. Their decision has nothing to do with you. Y'all, I'm working on that still. You have, if they say no, it has nothing to do with you. It's their decision. This business is literally, it's not for everyone. And guess what? It might not be for everyone right now, but it might be for someone a year from now, 2 years from now. There are people you're talking to now that may not join you until years later, months later, right? Your main job, your main focus is to share the information. That's it. Introduce people, get them in front of the information. That's it. It's up to them to make an informed decision. And so, like I always say, somebody tell them if they say no, okay, what did the barber say? Next. Go to the next person. Okay, cool. Thank you. Next. Okay, prioritize your income producing activity. Y'all, this is so important. If you work your business like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. Work your business like a business, it will pay you like a business. Y'all hear this all day, every day. Y'all, this is true. If you talk to someone every now and again, or when I'm out at something, or I guess I'll talk to somebody today, guess what? You're going to get paid every now and again, and I guess you may get paid whenever. But y'all, if you work your business like you do your job, if you take your work ethic and put it towards your business, y'all, we're all can be millionaires. And that's what's in my head. I truly believe I'm a bomb.com educator. I stand on my feet teaching 150 personalities how to find X. Well, guess what? I found X. It's in this business, residual income. So I believe if I take my work ethic that I do on those people's job and put it toward my business, I'm going to be a millionaire. I truly believe that. So here we go. These are result driven activities. Y'all, it's very simple. You know these, but I'm going to go over them anyway. Result driven activities. You pique their interest, it gives a result. You show or share the information, gives a result. Third party validation. Line up your stories from your upline directors, whoever they are, for third party validation to mirror image. Y'all, that's it. That's all. Rinse and repeat. Do that over and 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 over again, y'all. That's it. That is income producing activity. If you're not talking to anybody, if you're not talking to people, you're not creating income. That is what we do every day. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you about the 5532. This is something that I use for myself and I learned, I can't take it, I didn't create it, I got it from convention. Actually, what I learned at convention was 553. I added the 2, and I'll tell you where that comes from. When I went to convention, Latoya Mayberry was teaching how to build online because y'all, I was stressing out because my warm market, the people I know, my circle's very small. Like I say, I'm an introvert. I don't talk to a lot of people. I have a good 5 friends, maybe, and 2 I talk to, and the other 3 are probably my family. And so people ask me, how are you an introvert and you're a teacher? Well, y'all, that's how I eat. I can do that. If I have to do this to do that, okay, I'm gonna teach so I can eat, and I'm good at it. So I had to get in my head, if I want this business, if I want that residual income, if I want what I'm seeing other people get, I'm going to have to talk to people. So I was struggling trying to figure that out. Just so happened I went to convention. This is one of the uh, uh, trainings that we had. Latoya Mayberry taught 553. She said, talk to 5 people every day. Well, she's talking about social media. So she said, get 5 new friends every day on your Facebook. 5 new friends. Follow up with 5 people. These are people in your funnel. And we'll talk about that later. And then send 3 videos or invitation to a face-to-face meeting or invitation to a Zoom, whatever. 3 invitations every day. Y'all, that's 553. So think about it. If you talk to 5 people every day, I'm gonna see how quick y'all are in the math. If you talk to 5 people every day for 30 days, how many people have you talked to? Let me see who's gonna put it in there. That's right, 150 people. If you follow up with 5 people every day for 30 days, how many people is that? Type that in the comments. 150. If you send 3 videos, I'm sorry, if you send a video to 3 people every day for 30 days, how many videos or invitations have you sent out? Let's see if we can put it in there. That's right, you sent out 90. Now y'all add that up, 150 plus 150 plus 90, what you get? That's 390 people. If you can't get one business partner out of 390 people, we need to have a private conversation. Something's going wrong. Does that make sense? And literally do this every day. And I started it. You know, every time we go to convention, at the end of convention, they say, okay, you've been here for 3 days, you've taken notes, it's time to take your notes to life. That means put it to work. So when I came back from that convention, I think it was convention 2019, I said, okay, 553, I can do this. So I got a notebook and I said, okay, I'm gonna get 5 new friends, talk to 5 people, follow up with 5 people, and send out 3 invitations, 3 videos. So what I had to do was I had to get up an hour early. So I got up at 4. I sent out 5 friend requests on Facebook. Now I just didn't pick people 5 to select the 5. I'm very selective because guess what? You want people that who believe you want them on your team before you get to know them, because you don't know these people. It's stranger danger. So I would go scroll through. Facebook used to show you, oh, you might be interested in the person. You might be interested in this person. I don't know if y'all remember that on Facebook. So I would go to their page. I would look at their page, see what they're talking about. If they're talking about a nonsense, if they've got in their profile picture them pointing a gun or giving somebody the finger or something like that, I'm not interested in them being on my team. But if they look like they were traveling, they look like business people, if they look like smart people, they had a family, they owned a house or something like that, I'm sending them a friend request. So I would get up at 4, send those 5 friend requests. Then I get ready for work. My commute was an hour and a half to where I worked. So on the way to work, I'm listening to IMV. By the time I get to work, I check my phone before I teach my first class, and I look to see if they accepted my friend request. If they did, I would go into the messenger. I would say, okay, thank you for accepting my friend request. I look forward to connecting with you on Facebook, something like that. And then I would go to their page and look at the most recent post, and I would comment something under that post, but I would ask a question. So guess what? So they can respond, whatever that post is. It could be them holding their baby. Oh, your daughter is so cute. How old is she? Ask a question. Oh, you look good in that Easter dress. That color looks good on you. What city is this? Ask a question. If it's a vacation, oh, I love these vacation pictures. Where is this location? What resort are you on? Ask a question because it starts that dialogue. They may or may not respond because they're like, who this person asked me a question? Y'all, it's still stranger danger, but that's okay. They accepted your friend request. That's the beginning. Throughout the day, I would follow up with my 5 people in between class, at my lunch hour, stolen moments. It depends on what the conversation is, where I follow up from. Most of my follow-ups are people that I have moved from off of Facebook out of Messenger into my phone. So I probably have their phone number. And that's what the goal is. You want to get them off there. But if not, I may follow up with somebody that hasn't given my phone number, and I would talk to them in their messenger or go back to another post and just start asking questions. Because y'all, I'm just trying to start the dialogue so they'll feel comfortable. The next thing, send 3 videos or invitations to a local meeting, business showcase, whatever, face-to-face, whatever you can get. Back then, it was easier to send a video because you're still stranger danger, and people will accept a video before they start, come visit me, come meet me at such and such place, right? They're not going to do that very quickly, especially women. They're just not going to do it. But it was easier to send a video. So I'm sending 30 to 40 videos a day. But I'll back up and say, y'all, this 553 is for beginners. If you're new to building or you're still nervous, this is for beginners. If you're a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star on this line, y'all already know you have to do, by the time you get to director in training, you're way beyond these numbers. But y'all, 553, you can do this every day. So I said, when I got my book together, I did it day 1, day 2. I was like, okay, keep going. So I had said in my head, I said, okay, if I don't get it, I'm going to do this for 30 days. If I don't get a new business partner, I'm going back to book and travel. Y'all, I said that out loud and I meant it. I said, but you know what? I'm going to commit to this because I always tell my students, if they trust me, some of the, most people hate math. They're not good in math or whatever, the whole story. But I believe in my head, once you get in my class, the Royal Palace, you're going to enjoy math. We're going to learn math and we're going to have a lot of fun. But I need you to trust me. Stick with me. We're going to have fun in this class. So I use the same concept on myself. I said, okay, Iris, if you tell your students to do that, you can tell yourself. Like I said, take your work ethic from your job and transfer it to your business. So that's what I did. Y'all, every day, 553. Talk to 5 new people, follow up with 5 people, send out 3 videos. And I'll back up to the videos. You can't just spam people videos. It's a work up to that. Okay. It's a process up to that. Once you get that conversation that you're at that point, hey, can I send some information to you about this business? That's when you can send the video. So I did that every day. Y'all, I got a business partner in 7 days. I said, whoa, this is easy. Okay. Let me do it again. So I'll explain to you. I remember her and she's still here with me, y'all. When I sent her a friend request, she accepted it. I went to her messenger. I said, thank you for accepting my friend request. I'd love to talk with you later through Facebook. I went to her page. I commented on her most recent post, and she was an avid traveler. I saw all these travel pictures. I said, ooh, I hope she likes this business. So I commented on 2 posts. I said, I'm gonna be a little greedy today. I'm hungry. So I commented on 2 posts, either asked her where her picture was taken or where she was traveling. Y'all, by the time I got to work, she was in my messenger. She said, hey, you do travel. I've been wanting to do this. I'm like, whoa, okay. So what did she do, y'all? She went to my Facebook page. She scrolled down my page because she was like, who this lady, stranger danger? She saw I was in the travel business. So that's why she asked that question. So, I got excited. That's okay. Well, I'm going to talk to her at lunchtime because I'll have time, because my goal is to get her off Messenger and get her phone number. If I get her phone number, we're on the phone. So I said, okay, I'm gonna call her back during lunch. That's an hour. So I got excited. I kept going. So anyway, long story short, she was my first business partner doing this 553. New business partner in 7 days. I said, okay, let me keep going. I still didn't believe it worked. I said, let me see if it do it again. Kept going, 553. Got a second business partner within the next 5 days, I think. I said, okay, I'm all in. I kept going. I kept going. I kept going. Got a third business partner by the end of the month. Y'all, I had 3 business partners in a month. I was a bronze builder. And I'll pause. If you do this every day, you will get paid every week. If you work your business like a business, y'all, it will pay you like a business. Now, I'll talk to you about the 2. Distribute 2 business cards every day. That came from Mr. Bradley. I joined this business in Atlanta. I went to the Tuesday night meetings every Tuesday. Was there bright and early, on time with Mr. Bradley's training. During one of his trainings, he said, y'all, just pass out 2 business cards a day and see what happens. I said, 2 business cards. Okay, I could do that. So I said, okay, 5, 5, 3, 2. I'm gonna talk to 5 new people. I'm gonna follow up with 5. I'm gonna send 3 videos, and guess what? I'm passing out 2 business cards. But the business cards were tricky every day for me. And I'll just talk about me because I'm an hour and a half commute. Then I'm an hour and a half back home. By the time I get home, it's 6 or 7 o'clock. Where am I going to pass out 2 business cards? So y'all had to be smart. I had to figure it out. So what I did was, and don't judge me, every day I made it my business to go to at least 3 places. If I'm going to the grocery store, I went to 2 grocery stores. I would get half my groceries at Kroger and then maybe go to Walmart and get something else, because I'm looking for 2 people to pass out business card. And guess what? It takes a minute. You have to talk to people. You can't just say, here's my business card. So what I would do was I would go and I'm getting my groceries. I'm looking around for people to talk to. I'm checking what's in their basket. They got kids. I'm just looking. So I look for the longest line when I'm getting ready to check out, because why? I need to talk to somebody. And then I look, if I don't find anybody to talk to in the longest line, I'm looking at the cashier, see if they look happy, see if they, if it's somebody I can strike a conversation, because in my head, if I don't get anybody in this line, I'm getting that cashier and I'm gonna get to the point I can give her my business card. So that was my rotation. I would go get gas when I'm on my way home. That's another place I could stop. If I was going to get hair products, I said, "Ooh, beauty salon." You're gonna find 2 people in there to talk to if you stay in there long enough. So sometimes I can hit those 2 cards at one place. But y'all, I did this every day. I did not go to bed until I did not pull up in my driveway till I passed out those 2 cards. I did not go to bed until I follow up and passed out those 3 videos. Because if you remember, I sent out 5 friend requests before I went to work. The other part, the follow-up, like I say, is during the day. 3 videos is during the day. I find bits and time in my day to do that. But I didn't go to bed literally until it was done. Doing this every single day. That's my rotation. Y'all, this is the work. This is what the work looks like. If you're not doing this, you're not doing income producing activities. This is all you have to do every day. All that other stuff, whatever it is you're doing, that ain't creating your income. The question I'm going to ask you is, did you talk to somebody today? If you didn't talk to someone today, you're not creating income producing activities. And guess what? This is how you build the funnel. So I'm going to go back. 5 people for 30 days, new people, 5 follow-up with people for 30 days, 3 videos for 30 days. Now 2 business cards for 30 days. How much is that? How many people, how many business cards have you distributed? You got 150, 150, 90 plus 60. Let's see, y'all put it in the comments. Let me see if y'all got it in here. I don't see nobody put it. Is that the number too big? That's 450 contacts. That's 450 times you have talked to somebody. If you can't find a business partner, 450 people in 30 days, we need to have a conversation. Everybody agree? Everybody agree? That's 450 times you have talked to this business in 4 different ways. And I'm gonna pause right there. Make sure y'all get that. Take a screenshot of this if you want it. And this is the beginner's part. Now we all know if you're a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, you know this 5, 5, 3, 2 ain't gonna cut it. And I'm not gonna tell you what my numbers are, but I am 3, 4, 5 times bigger than this every day because guess what? I have to keep moving past my 1-star. That's 100 families. You go 99, you don't get that bonus. And y'all, you're not taking that bonus from me at all. So I make sure I'm always past, always past. And if you keep this muscle growing, y'all, it will get to a point where you will tell yourself, look, I ain't talked to nobody today. And let me go talk to somebody. This muscle will be something that you have to do in order to grow your business. Okay, results-driven activities, y'all. Determine your goal. What is your goal for 30 days? What is your goal for 60 days? What is your goal for 90 days? What's your goal for 2025? Your income-producing activities will lead you to your goal. Y'all, you got to talk to people. If you're not talking to people, you're not getting to your goal. In my head, this is what I have. I have a book. The first page of every month, I write on my page, I'm looking for and attracting individuals who are leaders, ready, and not afraid to make a decision. That's what I believe I'm attracting, and that's who I want to attract. Set your monthly goal. I call my monthly goal is a 10 and play list. What this means is my goal is to sign 10 business partners a month. Y'all, I ain't reached that yet, but I'm still trying. The highest I got was 8. I'm a good 8 every month, but this year I'm going to start getting 10 a month, but that's my goal. Who are you talking to for the next 30 days consistently? These are your 10 and play list. These are people, I have their phone number. These are people, they've either seen the presentation once or twice, they've given me a commitment date and ghosted, whatever. Because guess what? I'm still building in the cold market. So if they've given me a commitment date and ghosted me, it's usually because they don't really know who this chick is that's asking them for $200. They don't really know what's going on, or they got to get their money together. 98% of the time, they're getting their money together. Because y'all, I was that person. I didn't have the $200. So I think that's why I could be patient. It took me 30 days to get it because as an educator, we only get paid once a month. I didn't have the money. I wasn't going to have it to the end of the month. And guess what? It wasn't going to be an extra $200 in my check. I had to figure out who wasn't going to get paid and how I was going to move this money around because I knew I was going to start this business. Now, here's a key. This is something I used to teach my students who were preparing for ACT, SAT, whatever exams. It's called the 45-15. Master the 45-15. And I do it all the time. It's just something nature for me. But you work on one task for 45 minutes, and then you take a 15-minute break. Y'all, you can do this 1 time a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, or once a day, every day. You decide. Then once you do it, work on one task for 45 minutes, take a 15-minute break, whatever that break looks like. Then work on the next task for 45 minutes, and then take a 15-minute break. Rinse and repeat this every day, okay? Okay, the conversation. I know people have always asked me, okay, well, what do I say to people? Y'all, convention 2019, I'm always back at convention. There was a training given by Walter and Tiffany Powell. They gave a training on how to talk to people in different careers. So this is where I got these 4 questions from. So as I said here, you must genuinely must want to help people. Y'all, every day I get up, I say, who am I going to talk to today? Who am I going to help today? I genuinely believe that's what I'm doing. You use the form method: family, occupation, recreation, money. One of those letters or all 4, depends on where the conversation goes. And guess what? Remember those touches? That's how I space it out, because I know sometimes it takes above 7 touches to get someone to take a look at the presentation. So I don't even try to talk about family, occupation, recreation, and money every time I talk to them. I pick one of the letters and that's what we talk about. Quick conversations in and out. Listen to your prospect. Pay attention to their responses to the following questions. Y'all, they're telling you what they're looking for. They're telling you what you want, what they want. Keep notes about the conversations you have with your prospect. Y'all, this is very important because you're going to be talking to so many people, they're going to blend. It happened to me at one time. And I'll tell you a funny story. One lady called me and I thought she was another prospect because I've been talking to so many people. And I can't remember what she really did, but I had her confused. She might have worked in the medical field, and I thought she might have, I don't know, I make it up. Maybe she was an office manager. So instead of talking to her about what she was doing, I would say, okay, so how was it? How was the day at your office today? And she said, I don't work at an office. It's like, she don't work at an office. I thought this is so and so. So I'm looking at the phone. I was like, who is this? Was like, okay. I said, oh, I'm sorry. Remind me where you work. She told me where she worked. And I was like, who is this? And so I'm still talking. I said, okay, let's just start this all over again. In my head, I said, okay, so how was your day? She rattled off how her day was, about 5-minute conversation. Then I remembered who I was talking to. So y'all, that's why I say keep notes. And it doesn't have to be a bibliography, just some little notes that when they call you, you can look at your notes and say, oh, this is who I'm talking to. Okay, so these are the questions. First question, what do you do that takes up most of your time during the day? You could change it to however you talk. Hey, what type of work do you do? Where do you work? However, you can have it to change to fit your conversation. The next question, what do you like most about what you do? Fill in the blank. Third question, what do you find challenging about what you do? Fourth question, if you can change one thing about what you do, what would that be? So I'll use myself as an example. Question you would ask me, what do you do that takes up most of your time during your day? I'm an educator. I teach mathematics. What do you like most about teaching mathematics? My honest answer is that I really enjoy watching students get how mathematics works. If they can understand it and they get a light bulb in their head and they say, hey, Miss Royal, I get it. Y'all, it really makes me happy. It makes my heart smile. Then your next question, what do you find challenging about what you do? My honest response is, I'm tired of standing on my feet all day long teaching 150 personalities. I don't want to be 80 years old still doing this, but I don't know what else I can do. I'm not getting another degree, but I need to find something else that I can do that can make me income. That's what is challenging. Okay, the next question. If you could change one thing about what you do, what would that be? I need more money. Educators don't make enough money. If I can find something that makes me more money, I would be happy. Y'all see those 4 questions and how it can lead you? It works every time. Now, again, you don't have to ask all 4 questions at one time. Some people got a lot of layers of luggage and they're probably ready to spill it on you. Don't keep the conversation long because guess what? You got 5 people to talk to today and you worked all day. You don't have time for an hour conversation. And guess what? It's another touch. When you cut it off, it's another touch. Next time you call, you can bring that back up. Okay, so how was teaching today? You know, we just had an Easter break. So if you were following up with me, hey, I saw you had an Easter break. Did you do anything for your Easter break? I could tell you that's another touch. So I hope I made that made sense. Okay, So here's some examples. And y'all, these are exactly taken from my phone this year. Okay, so when I said take notes about people, this is what I do in my phone. If you have an iPhone, you got a notes section. I don't know about other phones, but I'm sure there's a notes section somewhere. So in my phone, when I meet somebody, this lady here, Lanila, I code people in my phone BP prospect, because if I can go to my phone and I'm deciding who I'm following up with, I can scroll through my phone. They're all in one section and I can find the people. I can go to my notes and see when I talked to them last. So here, I met her at HEB. She was selling discount electricity inside the store. She's an independent contractor. So as I was leaving the store, I'm sure y'all seen those people. They say, hey, do you save enough on your electricity? So I said, okay, let me see. And I liked her spirit. She was very bubbly. I said, ooh, that's somebody I'd like to have on my team, I think. Let me talk to her. So I let her give me the whole spiel about the electricity company or whatever it was. After her whole spiel, I told her, I said, you know what? I'm at the age now where I kind of get electricity real cheap. Like it is real cheap. So, but then I started asking her question. I said, how long have you been doing this? She said, I've been doing it just a few months. I just moved here to Houston from New Orleans. I have a new baby. Okay. She told me about the family, her occupation, I already know, and I can tell where she lives, Houston and New Orleans. In my head, we've got presentation in New Orleans. In my head, she's got a network in New Orleans that she can tap into. Y'all see where I'm going with this? If she decides to join me. So I'm more intrigued. I said, okay. I said, well, let me ask you this. If I could show you a business, I think I said, if I could introduce you to a business, no, back up. I know what I asked her. I said, how often do you get paid doing this? If I can ask, she said, I only get paid once. I said, oh, well, how much do you make? She said, well, every time someone signs up, she's paid $30. Y'all know where I went. I was like, okay. I said, well, if I could show you a business where you get paid 7 times, would you be interested? She said, yeah, show me the information. I said, okay, let me get your phone number and your email address. And I'll tell you what, let's talk later after you get off work. Because she's working. It's not a long time we can have a conversation, but I got enough about her. I put her phone in the app, in our Planet app. And I said, what time do you get off? I don't remember. She told me. I said, but I know you have your baby. Is that okay? I can call you late. I'm a night owl, so it don't bother me. She said, yeah, just call me around 9:30 or 10. And I did. Y'all, this is the rest of the information. That was one touch. Now here's the second touch. She told me she works 6 days a week. She loves multiple streams of income. She's off on Mondays. Because she works like that and she works nightly, I said, when's your off day? Because I know she doesn't work 7 days a week. At least in my head, I'm thinking she doesn't. She told me she's off on Mondays. I said, aha, we got money making Monday. Let me invite her to that. I said, okay. I said, can you hop on a 20, 30-minute Zoom on Monday? We do a business showcase. Do you mind taking a look at this information? She said, yeah. I said, well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to send you a short video. Take a look at it. Tell me what you think. So I sent her the preview ITA because I didn't want to lose that interaction between, I wrote a note on there up Sunday. So I must have met her on a Friday or Saturday. I was going to follow up with her Sunday evening and send her the Zoom information then. That's another touch. I didn't want to give it all to her now, right? She's got a new baby. Y'all know where all us moms in here, when you got a new baby, that juggling that thing, that baby and work and whatever is a lot. So it was going to be another touch for me to call her on Sunday. And that's what I did. Called her on Sunday. I said, hey, can you still attend? She said, yes. I gave her the Zoom information. That's a wrap. So I'll see her on Monday. There's the notes on there. She attended Money Making Monday. She had to log off because the internet was real wonky where she was. I said, when we talked afterwards, I sent her the video. She watched the video. She likes, what do you like most about what you saw? She liked the money, the travel, the multiple streams of income. She set a commitment date of April 4th. Look at there, y'all. She canceled her start date. She called me. She said, look, I need to get my money together. I said, sure, no problem. We can set another date. So y'all, it happened. She didn't say no. She just said not now. I hope that makes sense. Here's someone else. Business prospect. If you notice, Facebook. I met her on Facebook. I think she asked me about a Jamaica trip, and knowing me, I said, if I could show you how to do this yourself, would you be interested? She said, yeah. She lives in Humble. That's in Texas. She works as an analyst for oil and gas since 2000. Current position for 6 years. She likes being out helping people. She hates layoffs. She's an introvert. She was a loan signing agent. She didn't like it. She says she's tired of working for her bills and she has grown children. Y'all, this is the FORM. Now, I didn't hit this all in one conversation, but this is the information I keep in the notes. Because, like I said, I talk to so many people, I'm going to forget who is who and what is what, right? Okay, so here's an example of conversation. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Oops. Can y'all see this? Okay, yeah. So if you can?
Yep.
Okay, so if y'all notice up there, you see those dates? I put those dates because you couldn't see it on the screenshot. Well, those are 4 contacts. Actually, it's 5 because I've met her in Messenger, right? So y'all take a note of that. Okay, so you see she's coded in my phone. So to get someone off of Messenger, once we get that conversation going, I'd say, hey, I love your vibe. I would love to talk to you off Messenger. Is that possible? They most of the time will say yes or no. If they say yes, here's my number. Can you send me a quick text so I can lock your number in? Because what I noticed, y'all, when I ask people for their information, stranger danger, who is this lady? I don't know who this lady is. She asked me for my number. She must want some money, stranger danger. So I give my number first. Comfortable. So it helps people be comfortable. I said, just send me a quick text so I can lock your number in. And that's what she did. She said, this is Valerie. Here's my number. Got it. Locked it in. That's one conversation. The next conversation, if it says good morning Friday, it must have been a Friday. I have something that I do. It's called follow-up Fridays. I follow up with 50 people on Friday. She was one of my people. I just said, are you available? She didn't respond. Okay, cool. Next, move on to the next person. Here's another day, Wednesday. Good morning, check in. Are you good? She said, good morning, all is good on my end, just waiting for the power to come back on. So y'all, this was during the time in Houston we lost our power. If you notice, I haven't said anything about the business. We ain't got electricity. We're trying to figure this thing out. So we're still talking here. Day 4, we're still talking. I still haven't asked her about the business. I don't know when we got electricity on, and we were 4 or 5 days without electricity. But as you see, that was the first and second contact. Now let's look over here. And remember, I met her on Facebook. So she went down my page. Look here. Hello, ma'am. I hope all is well. I would like to know a little more about the business when time permits. I work at night. I'm working right now, but anytime later. Y'all, she went down my page. She saw what I did. She wants to know. Cool, I'm excited. Yeah. Good morning. Happy Monday, Valerie. I hope you're doing well. I'm at work also. What time are you off this evening? She told me she had an appointment at 5. I said, okay, perfect. Remind me. You'll see, I got confused. Are you in Central Standard Time? I just told y'all she in Humble, Texas. She lives in Central Time. But I'm talking to so many people, sometimes I forget. She told me she's in Texas Central Time. Perfect. I'll add you to my calendar tonight at 7. Contact number 4. This is another day. This is the 12th. I'll call you at the end of the hour. 7 p.m. is still good. She said yes. When we talk, I'm sure she said she's coming to a Zoom because that's how I will operate. If you ask me about the information, rather than me explaining, hey, do you have an opportunity to hop on a Zoom to check it out? Here's the Zoom information. She came on a Tuesday. Okay, that's 4 contacts, y'all. And we're not done yet. Because remember, I'm talking to different people all day long. August 13th, 16th, and 20th. Here we go. She said, I asked her, did she see the Zoom information? She said, yeah. Whenever I invite somebody to a Zoom, about 2 to 3 minutes afterward, I say, hey, I'm on. And they'll tell me if they're on or not, or if they couldn't make it. That's another touch, and it lets me know, okay, I might need to invite again. She told me she was on. She watched it to the end. And then I think I'm sure we talked on the phone afterwards, and she told me what she liked and saw. And I'm thinking she gave me a commitment date. I just don't remember. But if you notice here, I said, happy Friday, thank you. She said, thank you, same to me. Following, keep going. This is another touch. The 7th, happy Tuesday, thank you. I said, she asked me how my work was. I said, my work was fine. Looky here. Can y'all read that? I threw my phone this day. Can y'all read that? I don't know if y'all can see it. It says, I hate to tell you, but I'm going to sign up for the travel under my cousin. When I was discussing it with her, she wants me to sign up under her. Sorry. Y'all know I was pissed off, but it's okay because I did all the work and her cousin didn't even talk to her own cousin about it. Y'all see my comment? Okay, cool. Next, on to the next person. Y'all, this was a no. I did all the work and she said no, but she signed up with someone else. I hope she does wonderful things with her business. But guess what? I didn't suck it all in. I probably did throw my phone if I was to be honest. But it's okay. Next person. She was stranger danger. I didn't know her. I'm not that committed in. It's okay. Here are two other examples. Here's a prospect I met at the Singapore airport. When I was on my trip to Bali, I was determined to pass out 10 business cards. I passed out 10 business cards. I did do that. But here's one lady I met during one of my layovers, and we were talking. She lives in New Jersey. I met her at the airport during my Bali trip. She was traveling with her cousin Frances, loves to travel. Frances organized this trip to Bali for both of them to celebrate their 50th birthday. We didn't get to talk long, so I put some questions in there for me to follow up. I think she told me she was a nurse. I couldn't remember. I don't even remember if she had children, married, and the why is in my head, why this business would be helpful for her. But I quickly jotted things down so I have them when I talk to her again. Here's someone else. Trevon, educator, New York. Why'd I put female parent? I don't know why I did that. Oh, because her name. I thought it was a dude at first. But it's a female. She's a parent. She saw my post in Black Educators. She travels a lot. Michael Baisden and Black Educators. I'm in two groups. So she said she saw my post and she saw I was consistent. That's why she reached out to me. Travels a lot. She has a friend that can do booking herself. She has a business partner that wants to purchase the travel business too. I said, ooh, y'all know I got excited. This is her person, Rob, 28 years. He does events, trips, getaways, used travel agents in the past, but he just figured out no one's ever told him that he could do this himself. He wants to make the money himself. He works for Federal Express 38 years. So as y'all see, y'all, when I got on the phone with her, I talked to her first, and then we did a three-way with Rob. And I'll show you, I think that's the example I have for another conversation. Yep, February 6th, 7th, 10th, and 11th. These are the conversations. Same thing. Oops, go back. If y'all see, to get her off Facebook, I know I told her, hey, here's my number. I would love to talk to you offline. Can you send me a quick text so I can lock your number in? She sent it in. She said, good evening, this is Trayvon. I said, hey, I got you. Got your number locked in. I look forward to your call tomorrow, Friday. I think we probably made an appointment. That was it. First touch. Second touch, actually, because we talked on Facebook. Here's the second touch. I can't read that, y'all. I don't know what it is. Hold on, let me see. But this part's important. Oh, I know what it was. It says, I'm traveling today and there's a flight delay. Can we have our call at 4:30? I changed the appointment. I didn't show up. I asked her. She said, that's fine. Have a safe flight. Thank you for being flexible. That's what I told her. You're welcome. She said, I will be able to call you in 10 minutes. Okay, perfect. Just landed. This was later on in the evening at 3:30, okay? Over here, third touch. She says, hey, I spoke to my partner. He's available tomorrow. Let me know at 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's good for you too. Have a good evening. I said, yes, it's perfect. Here we got on the three-way with her and her friend, Rob. Four touches already. Fifth touch. Good evening, Rob and I. After we talked, he said he wanted to do it. They both were going to join this business. I said, okay, cool. She said she'll give me a date. So here she says, Rob and I will be joining at the end of this week. I hope you have a great day. I said, okay, cool. Wrote it down in my book. I got somebody coming. There's my funnel. So here, the next day on the 10th, I said, good morning, this is great. I'm excited to have you on the team. I'll add you to my new start calendar. Which day works best for your schedule? She said at the end of the week, y'all, I don't leave it open. Give me a date and time, but it's a way to ask, right? She said, I will ask Rob. I'm out of town for the 15th and the 20th. I said, okay, cool. Just keep me posted. Like I said, I keep a straight face. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. It's good, but I'm excited if they do. She next message, hey, I hope all is well. Spoke to Rob. They gave me a time of 9 p.m. So as y'all see, we keep going. This is what I want y'all to see. Here, they gave me a date, but on the 7th touch, they rescheduled it. Instead of starting on the other date, they wanted to start on the 21st, which is fine. Change the date in my calendar, erase, keep going. This right here on the 8th touch, I'm following up. I'm just asking different questions. She told me she was traveling to Mexico. That's why she had to change her date. So here, I'm just checking in. Happy Tuesday. She tells me she's in Mexico. I said, good. I go there often. How is your travel there? And she said, it's fine. But I hope y'all are getting the gist of this. The 9th touch. How many touches did it say for someone to touch before they sign up? Did someone write that down? This is the 9th touch. This is the day they were going to sign up. What happened was she couldn't sign up. Something happened with her car, but Rob signed up. She signed up later. So as I put the dates on here, February 21st, I had a new business partner with Rob. Trayvon, she rescheduled. She signed up later in March, I think. I can't remember, but she eventually did come and sign up. She had to get her money together. So those are the examples I wanted y'all to see, that doing the work isn't just a one-time stop shop. Doing the work is continuous. You're talking to people, you're following up with people, you're inviting them to the presentation, you're showing them the video, you're doing the leverage, you're doing all of that, okay? Now, I've had some people ask me in the cold market, where do you go to talk to people? Y'all, I go everywhere, and sometimes I make things up as I go. But here's a few I can actually pinpoint and share with you. Example one, standing in line at a local grocery store after 5 p.m. I said after 5 p.m. because why? People are off work. They will probably have $200 and it's quick in and out. Example two, sitting in a doctor's office. Anywhere you are, you sitting there waiting on your appointment, you can start up a conversation with somebody. So what type of work do you do? They're going to tell you, we all in there seeing the doctor. What do you like most about what you do? And they're going to tell you. And it may not get to the other two questions. You might feel the vibe and say, hey, I really like your vibe. Can we connect? Can I get your number? We can talk later. They'll give it to you and you put it in your app. Example three, shopping at a local Costco on Saturday. Saturday is where all the working people go, to Costco, okay? That's a hint. Example four, salesperson or shoppers at expensive stores. Saks Fifth Avenue, Creed Boutique. Is anybody familiar with Creed Boutique? They sell perfumes. I wonder, do y'all know how much those perfumes are? I ain't never bought one, but that's my goal when I get to 3-star. They sell expensive perfumes. They run between $300 to $400, $500, $600 a small bottle. But I go in there and talk to the salespeople. I look at people shopping and I strike up the same conversation. I start with a compliment. Oh, girl, I sure do love that dress. They're going to tell you, and you just keep the conversation going. Another example, a waitress or a waiter at dinner, brunch, or happy hour. Y'all, we are happy hour and brunch people here in Texas. You can always talk to the people using those same questions. Example 6, local networking events, boat shows, Afrotech, open house in River Oaks. Y'all, boat shows, people that go to boat shows have $200. They understand business. They understand residual income. Those conversations are real quick and short. Afrotech, these are tech people. They have these in Houston all the time. Open house River Oaks, that's the most expensive place to live in Houston. This is homes that people are looking at to buy. These people have $200. You're looking for people that are high hanging fruit, that have $200, that understand business, and we'll take a look at the information. They may not do it, and that's okay. But guess what? You did what you were supposed to do. Show them, put them in front of the information. Okay, y'all, this right here, avoid procrastination. This is what stops you from doing the work. The procrastination. So you have to change your daily method of operation when you are building a business, because we all work full time. Some of us work nights, some people work days, whatever that is, but you got to put in pockets of time to work your business. So for me, getting up early, that's what I do for my business. I get up early and start it. Create momentum from one task to another. Master the 45-15. I'm telling you, if you try it, it will work. Think it, do it. If you're in the store and you say, "Oh, I wonder if I should talk to that person," do it. Talk to them. "Oh, I wonder if I should go here and see if I can find some people to talk to." Think it, do it. Just go do it. Find your sweet spot. This means to perfect as you go. Learn what works as you go, y'all. You do not have to be perfect before you do it. Just try something. If it don't work, guess what? Do something else. Try something else. But what you can't do is just do nothing and expect your business to build, or start doing that other stuff. Y'all, cleaning your office is not income producing activity. Organizing your notes from training the other day is not an income producing activity. Question I'm gonna ask you, did you talk to somebody today? That's your income producing activity. This is very important. Avoid people who waste your time and your energy. Y'all, when you are head down trying to reach that goal of direct goal builder, director in training 2020, especially when you're head down trying to get to 1 star, y'all, I don't have time for people calling me, "Girl, let me tell you what happened." Okay, you know what? Let me call you next week. Hold that thought. I hang up the phone and go. I don't have time for that extra. "Girl, can you come out? We're going to see this new." No, I can't go. I'm doing this. Y'all, if it doesn't include you meeting new people, avoid that. It's wasting your time and energy, because guess what? We got 24 hours. 8 of them you got to sleep. Mostly everybody, 8 of them you're working. That's 8 plus 8 is 16. There's not many more hours left to work your business. That's why you have to be intentional and very, very specific. This is one that I heard in training 3 or 4 years ago, and I use it all the time. You don't need to chase the money. You find more people with money. That's how you grow your business. Okay, y'all, we hear this all the time. You've got to improve. You've got to self-develop. Whatever it looks for you, self-develop. I'm a proponent of reading books, learning. Y'all, I stepped into a classroom at 5 years old. I ain't never left. Been a student, then now I'm a teacher. I'm still in the classroom. So education and learning is one of the things I always look for. So if you don't find ways to challenge yourself, you are like a BlackBerry in a world of iPhones. Y'all, you're not improving. You're running on old software. I don't know about you, but I've never done network marketing before. I knew I could do it. I'm smart, but my journey may take a little longer. These are the 2 books that worked for me. Go Pro, and those are the 2 pages right there. 92 to 82, 123 to 125. Those 2 pages will change your life. My team and I, we call Building the Empire Babe. Honey, that's your best friend. But chapter 3 and 4 will change your life. Read the entire book, but 3 and 4 is the meat of the book. Okay. Okay. Winning. Hold on. Let me get my notes. Winning only gives you another win if and only if you fight for it. Y'all, doing the work is fighting for what you want. Everybody wants residual income. Everybody wants to build a team. That's what you said you're here. So if you don't get obsessed with it, with a greater obsession than when you fought for it the first time. Y'all, every time you sell a new business partner, that's a win. Every time you help them get a new business partner, that's a win. You're helping someone get what they want, and then they're helping someone get what they want. And y'all, they will duplicate that. Remember, always, you help someone get what they want, guess what? You get what you want. Y'all, it's reciprocity in this business. You just keep going. For me, when I figured out this business, the magnitude of money that can help, Y'all, this business was it for me. It was like air. So I treated it like it was the only thing on earth. The only thing I could do was what? Get another job, get another degree. Y'all didn't, that didn't work. I'm not getting another job. I'm not getting another degree. So one of the things that released my spirit was again at convention. Director Cedric Wright did a training. At the end of his training, he said, he said, everybody in the audience is in awe of the top income earners. We just are like, I want to be like them. I want to be like them. But he said, one of the things that we don't tell you, people tell us no too. He said, people ghost us too. He said, people sign up and quit too. He said, people, we call them and they don't answer the phone. They promise to come to a presentation, don't show up, or they change their phone number. He said, it happens to us too. And I was like, really? So after the training, I went up to him. I said, Director White, people really say no to you? He said, yeah, all the time. I said, you know what? You just freed my spirit. Y'all, that was okay for me to hear. I said, okay, it happens to him. It's okay, it happens to me. And y'all, I've seen it happen. I saw somebody, one of my guests, tell Mr. Bradley no. And I'll share the story with you. When I moved back to Houston, Houston is where I was married, had our son, and got divorced. So I've got a network here. I've got my network, I've got my ex-husband's network, and guess what? I have the network when you divorce, people take sides. So I knew I could talk to people. But I have a few friends that, you don't have to talk to them every day. But if I call her after we haven't talked in 6 months, it's like we never stopped talking. So anyway, I just knew she would do this business. She's a talker. She likes making money. And honey, she is the marketing guru person. So I said, okay, I'm gonna invite her out. But I wanted to invite her when Mr. Bradley was gonna be here because she's that green. She's gonna ask a lot of questions. I could just move out the way, put her in front of Mr. Bradley, and she'll be impressed. She's gonna meet the owner of the company. She came out to Super Saturday. Mr. Bradley did our training. She asked a few questions. I was like, whoa, okay, we in. Yo, I'm about making sure my link works. I said, okay, she's gonna sign up because she likes what she saw. And her and Mr. Bradley was changing dialogue. She asked a follow-up question to once he answered that question. So I said, okay. So after the end of the training, after end of Super Saturday, I said, I said, do you mind? I'm gonna introduce you to Mr. Bradley. She said, sure. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a slam dunk. So I introduced her to Mr. Bradley. They had a short conversation. He said, so are you going to join this business with Iris? Y'all, her response was, she said, well, I'm going to do a little bit more research. I said, did she just know who she talked to, who she said that to? This Mr. Bradley. The research is right here in front of you. This is his business. It's his company. And he said, oh, really? He said, well, any questions you have, you can ask me. I am the owner of the company. She said, yeah, but I'm going to do further individual research. Y'all, I was livid. I was like, she just told Mr. Bradley no. Oh my God. And then she just told the owner of the company she going to do her own research. She done lost her mind. But it's okay. It's my friend. I said, okay, cool. And that was it. That was all. I've been back in Houston since 22. That's 3 years. She still hasn't joined my business. But guess what? In the back of my head, I think she's going to be another Tiffany Pierce. I think it's going to take 21 times. I haven't stopped asking her because it's weird in my head that every time I ask her to come to a presentation, she will come. But she keeps saying, no, I'm going to do some research. I don't know what it is that's her block, because when I ask her, what's your pause? She said, well, I'm just not sure. She won't tell me. I don't know. It's okay. But guess what? I'm going to keep asking. And guess what? I'm not going to wait for her to build my business. I'm going to keep going. Okay, this is a short video I want y'all to watch. Keep our fingers crossed it plays.
Miss, Diane Ellis, please do the honors of introducing your new superstar.
So I'm super, super excited. She is a friend from a long time. Actually, we crossed paths in the hotel industry way back when. And she saw this just like I did, and she decided she was just in that 20-minute conversation. She is a leader in her own right. She absolutely loves helping people. She's from Westmoreland, Jamaica, a rural town here in the country, but she's now living in Orlando, Florida. I believe she's going to be in Connecticut soon, if not already. And she is making no excuses because she has a beautiful little girl that she has to leave that legacy for. But I won't give you too much of her story. Instead, I'll introduce to each and every one of you my one-star director, Mrs. Petra Chisholm. Are you out there?
Yes, Director Ellis, can you see me? Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Take it away, Mr. Bradley.
Miss Petra Chisholm, how are you doing tonight, rather?
I'm doing great, Mr. Bradley, and how are you?
I'm doing extremely well. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wow, where do I start, Mr. Bradley? I'm a country girl, humble beginning. From Jamaica, rural Jamaica, but I was at that place, Mr. Bradley, and I said, I don't want to stay there. I had to get out of there. I'm an introvert at heart, but with this Planet Marketing, I'm able to come out of my comfort zone. And if I see something and I want it, I have to go and get it. And that's what I'm doing right here.
Okay, you were in that place and you had to come out of it. Talk a little bit about that for us. Describe that to us. Where's that place that you had to come out of?
It was a place of lack, limitation, poverty. And that's all I knew. When I look around me, that's all I see. And I wasn't comfortable there. I was very uncomfortable. And when I started traveling, I see something different. I see people buying houses. People are driving fancy cars. I see people are traveling. And I said, I want to do that. I want to do more of it. But with a salary alone, I could not do it. So I was looking for something and I found it.
Your why, Ms. Chisholm. What's your why? What's driving you?
My daughter. I have a 14-year-old daughter, Mr. Bradley. And I do not want to hand down a legacy of lack and poverty and limitation. I want to give her the best life that she so desires. Mr. Bradley, my daughter, I gave away my daughter to her grandmother from she was very young because I didn't have the money or the stability to take care of my daughter on my own. And I had to give her to her grandmother and go and look for a better life. And I want to take her back. I'm now, Planet Marketing has put me in a position to take her back. And I'm coming back for my daughter after 14 years.
Wow, that is amazing to me. Tell me, thank you for sharing that with me. But why you, Ms. Chisholm? Why were you able to, over in Jamaica, able to help over 100 families? I'm looking at the currency exchange rate right now, where, and correct me if I'm wrong, $100 is 14,631 Jamaican dollars. I mean, but how are you able to, along with the rest of the ladies, Diane and Denisha, how are you able to overcome all the different challenges and help over 100 families to get to directorship?
Mr. Bradley, because there are people in Jamaica, people in the Caribbean, even right here in the United States of America, who look like me, who have a story just like me. But we cannot make our story be or hinder us from getting to our success. We remove the excuses, and that's what I'm about. Once I connect with someone, they have excuses, but I said, we are going to remove your excuses. You want something, you want to change, you have to make a change. So we have removed the excuses, Mr. Bradley.
Knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently if you were starting out today?
If knowing what I know now, Mr. Bradley, I would have done some things differently. I would have been fearless, remove the fear, because when I started, Mr. Bradley, I was fearful. I didn't want to talk to anyone about the business because people are saying things about people have different opinions. And I would have, not be scared or worried about what other people think about what I'm doing and just go out there and show the plan. And I know that what I know now, it's a new day, Mr. Bradley. It's a new beginning. I am going out there, remove fear, remove excuses, and I'm just going to tell the world about my business because I feel like Planet Marketing is taking over.
There's over 2,300 listeners on this Zoom tonight. Any advice that you would give anybody that's on this Zoom that would desire to be interviewing with me one Sunday night as a new director?
Yes, Mr. Bradley. What I would tell the over 2,000 people on this Zoom tonight, that you are part of an opportunity that is changing lives. Don't sleep on it. Do the work. Nothing work but the work. You have a business that can maintain itself, maintain you, give you unlimited income. Do the work, make the commitment. If you cannot make the commitment to yourself, because I know, Mr. Bradley, there are some persons on here who already are making money, but if you have an opportunity that you can share with those who want the money. Don't keep it to yourself. Make the commitment to do it for somebody. If you can't do it for you, do it for your family. If you can't do it for your family, do it for other families who need this. Just do the work. Nothing work but the work.
Ms. Chisholm, real quick, why is the money so important? Why? This is a great business. We get a chance to do a lot of great things, but why is the money so important in this business?
Mr. Bradley, you can't get through life without money. You can't do anything without money. To move from point A to point B, you need money. And for me, Mr. Bradley, it's important to me because my family didn't have any money. There is absolutely no millionaires in my family, and I am definitely going to be the first one. So it is important to me. Another thing, Mr. Bradley, I have siblings. They have not yet experienced half of the things that I've experienced because of a lack of money. And I want to make sure that I split $1 million amongst my siblings, and I gift my daughter $1 million by the time she turns 18 years old. That's my goal.
Wow. Ms. Chisholm, thank you so much. Congratulations. And again, I know we're going to hear a lot from you in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley.
Miss
All right, y'all.